as you're walking, you arrive at this forge. And you see out on the front area of the forge this very tall for a Tortle working with the hammer, hammering in this armor. And what would you like to do?
We'll have to interrupt him. Maybe splash some water on him, I don't know.
Okay. You're gonna splash water on them?
Well, they always have those big barrels full of water. I'm gonna reach in there and flick it at him. Okay,
so you do that, you walk up, and you see the portal take a second, stop what they're doing, and look towards you. And she says, hello?
Hello. The mayor said you could identify this. This is the best Tortle I know. I haven't been speaking Tortle very well. Can you help us?
You're speaking whale, not Tortle, Yodelay.
Last time on Secrets of Monster Island, our monster hunters had arrived on a fairly big island and had been making their way with a lizard folk to their destination, and had finally arrived at the Healing Lagoon, a little a very big civilization, bigger than Rivermouth, and had met Mayor Tislow, the Tortle mayor of this area, who explained some things to the monster hunters. Explained that the Healing Lagoon used to have, well, healing properties, but has recently sort of dwindled in magic for unknown reasons that they have been trying to investigate. As you were conversating, you hear movement upstairs, and Mayor Tislow had explained that no one should be up there. So Yodelay quickly put a shadow up there and switch places to see these Yuan Ti escaping with this urn. And as you all had chased after them, a few demons, two demons appeared, and you had turned them to stone and managed to capture the Yuan Ti. Then the Yuan Ti gained a voice of some other being and had explained that you have no idea what you're messing with, and had also threatened Alaxidor for the tablet that he holds, explaining that whatever the creature is wants that item. And so as you all had dealt with that, and you guys made new statues from the devils that are the demons that you just turned to stone, you know, new statues at the front of the mayor's house, thanks to Yodelay. You now find yourself back in the mayor's house. So what would you like to do?
Oh, whenever they accused us of being Yuan Ti, you guys actually had a reason to be mad at them, I guess, because we killed 5 of them outside.
Well, normally they're not, you see Mayor Tislow speak, normally they're not that much of an issue, but apparently right now...
What is so special about what they took?
I don't know. That is the ashes
of
my...
down the house.
That's the ashes of my grandfather. And I don't know why they would want that.
Who was your grandfather?
Do they have special properties?
My grandfather was a very common man. He didn't really have anything interesting about him.
But was there something else inside the urn that, rather than just his ashes? Was there maybe some kind of ring or?
Well, the urn is worth a lot by itself.
Oh, well, maybe that's it. Maybe they.
Yeah, maybe they wanted it for that reason.
So,
to earn some money.
But also recently, other things have been disappearing from the city as well, of common place.
What has been being taken? Maybe all the items together are building something.
Just random
common.
items like shoes, anything, weapons, armor. If there's any
Sounds like
magical
they're,
items, they also disappeared usually. Those are
Wait,
the ones that are
weapons,
usually most
armor,
seeked after.
shoes.
Sounds
Is
like
somebody outfitting an army?
that's
Well-
what I was gonna say.
Well, but so wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Are you certain that there are no magical properties to this urn?
I don't believe so.
Do we have a way of finding out if there are magical properties to this urn?
You can make me
Everybody
an
slowly turns
Arcana
their head
check.
to a Laxador.
Oh. You know, we should probably get somebody who learns detect magic.
Well, actually, we do have someone in town who might be able to help you.
Okay, good.
Her name is Jim. She is a
Gemstone?
yeah,
The
like gemstone.
holograms?
But her name is just Jim, and she is a forge cleric.
Ah, those are good people.
And
All
she
right.
should be able to help you figure out anything that you want to know. If you wish to take the urn, please take it. For now.
Real
We'll
quick,
return it.
as
I mean-
as they're finishing the conversation and talking, Aiden, I would like to pull out my dragon bones and
Okay.
ritually cast augury. Basically,
Thin bones.
wanting to ask the Lady of the Night if pursuing finding out about this urn is worth the time.
Remind me what augury is.
So basically, it's a divination spell
Okay, I found
that I
it.
can ritually cast.
Oh yeah, okay, now I remember
And
this.
yep.
It's kind of a wheel and woe. It's you get this feeling like it's not going to necessarily help you, but it could, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Laxador, I think maybe, if nothing else, talking to this gem might help us out. I think.
Well, I think it's going to get us more information about what's going on around town.
Exactly. But
Maybe.
we'll take the urn will be a way in, a conversation piece, if you will.
I think that's probably a good start, and Yodele should definitely do the talking.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so I hand him the urn. I say, Yodele, we're going to go see a cleric.
Like in front of me because I can't see.
And
No.
as you're walking,
All
you
fun and
arrive
games
at
until you decided to take it in a
this
nasty direction.
forge.
No,
and you see
we're
out
gonna
on
walk over to the
the
cleric.
front area of the forge.
So where do we go?
So
Very
it's just it's for a
It's not too
Tortle,
far from here, actually.
working with the
You guys can
hammer,
make your way there.
hammering in this armor. And
what would you like to do?
you see that the streets of the city are very vibrant.
You like-
Lots of people are
Interrupt them.
clearly walking and having a good time, doing various
Maybe
things.
splash some water on them. I don't know.
Okay. Like, you're gonna splash water on them?
Well, they always have those big barrels full of water. I'm gonna reach in there and flick it at them.
Okay, so you do that, you walk up, and you see the portal take a second, stop what they're doing, and look towards you. And she says, hello?
Hello. The mayor said you could identify this. This is the best Tortle I know. I haven't been speaking Tortle very well. Can you
Wait, hold on.
help us?
You're speaking whale, not Tortle, Yodele.
Are you a human?
Underneath all that armor and helmet, yes,
I've
he
been
is.
called many things, but yeah.
Oh, and you're an elf and a half elf and a dragonborn. I haven't seen. Ooh. I haven't
Yes.
seen one of you guys. I haven't seen you guys
Your
in like
name,
50 years.
your name reminds me
I
of
think you
myself.
got a shot here, buddy.
Yeah. You must be Jem.
Yes, I am. What can I do
the-
for you all?
Well,
Oh,
the
right.
the mayor sent us to see if you could identify if there's any magical properties to this urn.
And you see her reach out her hand. I'm assuming you hand it to her, Yodele.
One Grecian urn.
And she looks through it very carefully. She says, it doesn't have any magical properties, but it's definitely worth a lot.
Okay.
Worth
Well,
about-
Why would it want to be maybe stolen then?
Well, other than what it's worth, I don't know, but almost everything has kind of been disappearing. I've recently locked down a lot of my magic items because of it.
What magic items have been being taken from you?
Various things, even like just bags of holding, stuff like that. That's fairly common, not all that rare, if that makes any sense.
Have any of
Okay.
your weapons or armor been stolen from the forge here?
At one point, yes, we had a loss of +1 weapons and +1 armor.
Was it
And
a
after
large
that,
amount, like several suits, or was this like one or two?
This was about several suits.
Okay. So, Alexidor, I think you're on the right track.
But
Did
recently,
it coincide with the magic in the lagoon going down?
right.
it did. Recently, whenever that happened, and I've been investigating, and it appears to be some sort of creature. I can't explain what creature it is or where it is, but recently the guards have been investigating and have come to nothing.
Creature, you say? What kind? I mean,
Once
like,
again-
or where? You don't know what kind. You just told us that, but
Or
Don't know
where?
We don't
Yeah,
know
where?
where it is. We have
So where-
investigated this whole city and around the city, and nothing of avail.
have you checked in the lagoon?
We have.
Okay. Does the lagoon come? The water from the lagoon, does it originate from some place? I mean,
No.
is it a river that goes into it, or where does the water arrive?
It's just, the water has been there for thousands of years, and has never really deteriorated or anything, and there's nothing that runs through it either. It's quite a, let's just say, unique and very weird thing.
It's magical.
Yes.
Is that where the elder lives?
The elder does not live there now.
Know where the elder is then.
Yes, I've been alive long enough to know where the elder is.
But then you are actually one that we needed to talk to anyway.
Can you tell us? Because we got to get rid of this little ankle biter.
Oh my goodness.
And I think at that point, Alaxdor kind of spills everything
Might as well.
to
Are you
her
leaving-
from meeting the elder on our island.
Are you leaving
then
anything out?
I am not talking about the tablet. The
Okay.
tablet is the taboo thing that we don't speak about.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't talk about. What was his name?
Acles.
Acles. Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Acles. Yeah. Mm-mm.
So she explains, and you explain all this to her, and she explains that the Monster King. I've never heard of that before. It's really weird because whenever 500 years ago, we just lost contact with that island, and we assumed that something bad happened, but nothing ever happened to our island.
Sounds like they like to completely dominate one before moving on to the other, and since they didn't, maybe they got stuck there a little bit.
Maybe. But if the young elder is with you all, then that means there's still a chance for that island. If the elder can be trained. There is one issue, however, for specifically the type of elder you have and this island's elder.
They're great enemies, aren't they?
No. All the elders are
Oh,
friends.
okay,
I don't know what you expected.
I mean, I thought maybe, like, you know, one island's elder was maybe like a chicken, and the other island's elder was like a jaguar, and like mortal enemies.
No, this island's elder is a snake.
A snake.
Yes.
Well, that would make sense with all the Yuan-Ti running around. Do the Yuan-Ti have any allegiance to the elder?
No.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Do they know about the elder?
No. We usually don't tell many people about the elder.
Right, because remember...
Elders are the protection for the lands, yeah.
Especially since that if the elders carry a lot of magic that, if lost, can cause many issues with an island, and any evil that wishes to destroy them could gain great power by using them.
Yeah, one last thing, Jim.
Could we gain power
Do you
by
know-
using this little guy?
What'd you say, Yodeling?
I said, how can we gain power by using this little guy? We might have to fight something big.
Well, if he trains enough, you could definitely gain his allegiance and allow him to use some of his powers, but his powers I do not know the full extent of. Every
And
elder
neither
has
does he.
different- No.
Do
Most
you know
elders-
where?
Most elders learn from their lineage, and this one's lineage is since ended. So the next bet would probably be another elder. The reason I was saying that
Even elder.
these elders would not click is because the northern half of this island, you know how it's sort of been a grassland so far? The northern half is a desert and has, let's just say, a sandstorm that is very hard to guide your way through constantly to get to the big city on the island.
Get to
Hey,
the
been
big
there?
city on the island?
I'm sorry, what?
There's an even bigger city on this island, ran by the queen.
Oh,
I think Alaxor just kind of sits down at that moment, realizing that we're in like a town in
Yeah.
comparison to what he's talking about.
we're
Just like
talking
blown away.
we're talking civilizations here, people. Why did we not know there was an island with a full-blown civilization just like right next door?
Well, we prefer to keep to ourselves, at least for the past
You knew the
500
Monster
years,
Hunters.
we mostly. Except for 50 years ago when we tried to open up and eventually the Monster Hunters disappeared and you all stopped coming and you turned kind of violent, actually.
Yeah, I think our isolationism has been...
Over exaggerated and made to enhance those near the top.
Yeah, and it's been detrimental to our civilization.
Hmm.
Well, let's just say
I can promise you that's going to change.
if that's the case, then there might be someone who has been leaving off information in your civilization.
We've come together.
And
Well, do you know where we might find Shaska?
Shashka?
The fairy dragon?
Oh, give me 1 second, gentlemen. Chaska. Or Chaska. Yeah,
Chaska, the fairy dragon.
the fairy dragon. Chaska has not been seen for quite a long time, but her, or their effects can still be felt. They usually provide, how do you say this? Ideas in the minds of dreamers. If you ever had a dream about wanting to experience something or had an idea in your dream, that is usually them providing the dream to you.
Did you know of another dragon that happened to be on the island to the east? The island we're from?
That might have been Chaska, but Chaska has many resting places.
So where could we find the elder, the snake, and does it have a name?
It does not have a name. No elder has a name.
What do you know where we could find the elder?
Well, you know how I spoke about that desert sandstorm?
I was afraid you were going to say that.
That
Probably
is
in the middle of the eye of the sandstorm, yeah?
Yep. That sandstorm is created by the elder to protect it.
Okay. I don't want to go off searching for the elder until we've also found out your problem with the healing pool. You said you have actually searched inside, like you've swam. Well, you guys all breathe water.
breathe
So
underwater.
Did you
for a while.
systematically approach the lagoon, or did you just check this spot and then check that spot, or did you like section it off and do it all at once?
We sort of sectioned it off.
so it's been thorough.
Yeah. And
There's nothing underneath that might be
maybe,
another passage or anything like that.
but I've had a theory that maybe the creature isn't around here, or maybe not even on this plane. Maybe it's using its influence from another plane to use people to get to here.
You find things are dying.
Not recently, no.
Okay.
No animals or grass or anything has been dying. Just things
It's just-
lining up stolen.
Does it feel like magic has been drained from the area?
It feels like, at least on a surface level, everything appears to be just dormant to magic, but maybe perhaps the magic's being drained, if that makes any sense.
Would you mind taking us to the first area that you noticed that the magic kind of wasn't working?
Well, that would be the Healing Lagoon, but
Yeah.
we can head there if you wish.
I mean, only if you've got the time. I don't mean to take you away from your important work. Sorry, Yuri, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, this is a fair question. So while we were talking and standing there, Yuri would like to scan around. There's a bunch of people, you said, in and around the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Was anyone paying attention to us? Anyone seem outside of normal, like acting weird, or anyone that I would recognize that could be following us?
Maybe a perception check.
Okay. Both of those are very good. So 21.
No, not really.
Okay.
Eventually, around this time, you guys haven't taken a long rest yet, have you? Okay,
We have
never mind.
not.
That would not happen yet.
Nope.
But
Okay.
I do. If my theory is correct about them being on a different plane, I could call upon an old friend of mine to maybe allow a portal into the other plane to try to investigate.
What plane do you think they're on?
Who knows? But
Ethereal, Shadow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a close plane, so either
Astral.
ethereal,
plane?
the Feywild, or the Shadowfell. I'm assuming.
Alaxador, I don't know if there's any kind of, is there a spell of some kind to see planar disruptions or some kind of...
You have 2 oils of etherealness. We can go check out the ethereal plane for 1 hour.
I don't think that's what the Ethereal Potion does.
It absolutely does. The oil of etherealness.
Pretty sure that enhances weapons, Yodelet.
Nope. It allows you to travel to the ethereal plane for... Beads of cloudy gray oil form on the outside of its container and quickly evaporate. The oil can cover a medium or smaller creature along with its equipment it's wearing and carrying. Each vial is for one medium-sized creature. Applying the oil takes 10 minutes. The affected creature gains etherealness for spell for 1 hour.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Beep,
Well,
bop,
then-
bibbidi boop.
But I'm wondering also if there's surely there's got to be some kind of way to see. I don't know.
Going. That's how you see.
Well, which you would see the ethereal, but whether or not if it's Shadowfell, if it's Feywild, if there's a doorway that's open somewhere. Does that make sense? I don't.
Not making any sense. You're talking crazy. Shadowfell, Feywild.
Is Yodelay
We live on this
anomaly?
plane, and sometimes the ethereal plane.
What about the astral plane?
We don't live there.
We don't really want to go there.
The astral
I
plane is
won't be-
actually really far away.
Well, let's head up. Let's Jem, if you could show us the way, we'll follow you.
Yes, and she starts leading you to the lagoon, and as you do, she looks down at it and says, "Oh, the coloration is getting worse. Normally it's
How
a
so?
pristine blue, but now it's turning a shade of green." If you guys want to, maybe an Arcana check.
Okay.
Yes, that -1 skill roll.
Arlube
That's it.
and Jim will make
8.
one.
Yodelay,
What'd Yodelay get?
17.
17. You could definitely tell there's some sort of magical corruption happening to it. And
Can I ritually cast Purify Food and Water and see if it'll remove?
yeah, sure. That takes 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you cast it on that one. Are you wanting to like get it in a bottle or just try to cast it on the because how much does it purify? I think it's only like a 5 foot by 5 foot square, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 foot radius. So yeah. I mean, to start with, I'd probably pull it into a bucket or something and see if it worked.
Alrighty. So you do that, and you see it turn back to this pristine blue. And yeah, that the bottle appears to be completely back to normal. It appears.
Well,
Okay.
it seems like the lagoon has a leak into some other plane. If they've not found the creature.
I'm gonna assume there's no fish or animals in this lagoon. Am I correct on that?
Yes, there's never really been all that many fish or
Okay.
other creatures.
I'll send my familiar looking around.
Okay.
I'll turn him into an octopus.
Okay, maybe an
Well, he-
investigation check.
Doing that. Ooh, there we go. 19.
Alright, you look around, and maybe as your octopus swims deeper, maybe a wisdom saving throw.
Almost a 1. 21.
21. You see these visions of a pyramid floating atop the lagoon. And almost like these caves where the lagoon is, if that makes any sense. Basically like a deeper dungeon underneath the pyramid. And as you look around, you see this giant, well, kind of octopus
How
looking
far down is
creature.
it?
About 100 feet.
Oh,
And it reaches out to you and attempts to do something, but your octopus brushes it off and you're back where you originally were.
I think I found where the problem is,
I think so. Good.
but it seems to have, of course, some sort of psychic protection. Like everything else we encounter, it keeps talking in our brains.
Well, there is an expert I could probably turn to figure out a bit more.
Today we
lives-
go to this expert.
He lives on the western side of the island, however. He is a monk.
Oh.
I want to take the time to send my Echo down in there and get a really good, thorough examination of what's going on. See if I can find a door or something.
Maybe another you got a 19 for your octopus, right?
I did.
So your octopus, other than realizing that so basically on the surface it's like this sort of light shade of green so far. Down beneath, it is like a dark green now. And as you investigate, as
I
you're,
don't think we should let it touch us.
as the shadow investigates, you don't appear. We'll make an investigation check.
Oh.
What was that?
And blind, okay? So,
Oh,
I got
okay.
a 3.
Got a
yeah,
3.
You don't appear to find anything of note.
Okay.
And I'm assuming your shadow wouldn't have to make me the wisdom save because it's not really a creature.
Oh, my shadow's immune to many, many conditions.
That's true.
All right.
Maybe we take a rest and send for this other guy and check it out tomorrow.
Yes. I think taking a sleeping here and then heading either west or I don't know. Maybe we'll see better in the morning.
Yeah. So you guys get a long rest in. And around this time in the morning, you can see what appears to be a ship pulling up to dock early this morning, which you can tell is your ship.
Oh, yeah.
So they have arrived. And you see Jim preparing their horse and saying, "We're probably going to have to head there. I have no way of contact with him right now."
Right. I'm going to go grab Captain Asmo.
Okay.
And let him know that we have been welcomed to this island and to this town. Please keep the earpiece handy just in case any trouble arises here. We're going to head west. We are guests here in this town, and probably the closest thing to ambassadors this town has seen from our island in 100 or so years. So be on your best behavior.
Yes, sir. We will try our best.
That does not fill me with much joy. Insight check.
Yeah. So we're gonna go grab our Cathlin and ride west with Jem.
So with the Cathlin and no one else to hold you back, you guys could probably make it there by the end of the day. Since that they have a faster moving speed.
Aiden, while this is going on, I'd like to talk to the 2 earpieces that we have.
Oh, okay.
And just ask some questions about was the cave they were guarding, was it Chaska? Have they ever heard that name before?
Yeah, that does sound very familiar, actually. A large fairy dragon with a very long neck. We are from... Oh, and give me 1 second. And you see their, well, they don't have eyes, but they have this sense of revelation all of a sudden. And you hear them say, "Oh, I remember where we're from." You all know where your island is? To the south of that, there our people live.
So what you're telling me is
So
there's another
under that-
island to the south of us.
Yep, another island. So another island to the south of your island, and there's actually one to the west of this one where the Yuan T are.
Mm-hmm. So it's a 5, yep, and then a single die. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. What brought you to our island then?
I think it was something about protecting that tablet. I think we saw the atrocities that someone committed. Someone on our island tried to do with something else, and we just decided that would be best to protect those items. Make sure that they did not end up in the wrong hands.
Did one from your island summon Eccles to this plane?
No.
Or try to harness his power?
Another. Well, another. What was it? They rode on a big machine. They tried to harness powers from our island.
A big machine? Like the whole people were machines, or?
No, like they rode on it. A big mechanism. They had somehow come to our island for some reason. Probably to bask in the magic of our mother crystal.
Okay.
What is this mother crystal?
What do you say?
speak of?
For thousands of years, we had an underground cave beneath our island, and the mother crystal was the essence of it all. And one day, we were just crystals on the walls. We weren't even humanoids. But then one day, the creatures in the flying machine came with another thing, and the combination created us. And they tried to use us for powers. The tablet of Eccles that you have now used to be on our island, but was taken to yours to be hidden away by Chaska.
So Chaska hid all pieces of 6?
Well, just that one as far as we know.
But you had all the tablets on your island, or just the one?
We actually had 2.
Is it the 2 that were moved to our island?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
But there's another individual that's hunting these tablets. So, I mean, we knew. And I think this
Well-
part of Laxador is talking out loud.
Well, the creatures were there a very long time ago. It's mostly a story told from history books, and that's why so much information was lost. Probably about a few thousand years ago.
Yeah.
Those creatures had arrived.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us that information. Do you know anything about the other elders on the island? They said this one is a snake.
Our elder was killed on our island
Before or after the people showed up
during
with the
when
mechanisms?
the people showed up.
So I think the people that showed up might have been these monster hunters or these monster king.
Right.
Maybe.
Who have
But-
been moving from island to island.
Just the way it sounds.
But this was once again a few thousand years ago, and that island that we were previously at was only attacked about 500 years ago.
Right.
So,
Well, I think it still supports the idea that they tried to conquer one completely before
Mhm.
moving on.
supposedly.
And they might be moving on now since the other one is completely destroyed.
But it wasn't until we pulled the elder off the island. Maybe
Yes.
they know when the Elder's no longer on the island.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what you can't move from that island as long as an Elder's there.
Um,
Maybe the Elders act as a barrier protecting the islands from their advancement, and you can't move through the barrier until the barrier is pulled back to the next one.
Or let me throw this theory out, that maybe what it is they're looking to kill the Elder, and as long as the Elder is still alive, their job isn't done.
well,
Possibly.
is it okay if Jim cuts in for a second?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jim explains that the Elders were created by the three Fae a long time ago for another purpose. I think they worked with another goddess. The goddess of secrets.
I've
You
not
all would
heard
know
of this
her.
one.
I'm
Is
sorry,
that the
who?
Goddess of the Night?
Yes, the goddess of the night. They worked with
Oh.
the goddess of the night to hide the islands from the outside world.
So the Goddess of the Night is also the Goddess of Secrets. I
Yeah,
that makes
multitasker.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
The night is full of secrets,
right.
Yes.
and death is an ultimate secret.
But our three Fae worked together to hide the islands from the outside world, and the Elders are some of the keys to that.
And that means something has found its way into the islands from outside, and is over the past thousands of years has basically been systematically taking out each island and its elders.
Well, the thing is that things can enter the islands, but things cannot leave the islands. If you were to have a ship that came here and crashed, then they would be stuck here.
A roach motel.
They check in, but they don't check out, right?
As long as the Elder's there. If the Elder's not there, they can move on.
Right, but all of the Elders are the keys, and whatever this Monster King is probably wants to leave the islands, and it's trapped.
Okay.
Because any beings, even Fae, or demons, or devils, or anything like that is trapped in these islands, and has no further control over everything.
So if he systematically takes out all the islands and all the elders, he can finally leave, because the magic holding them here would be gone.
Yes, there is only one other
it.
way to get out of these islands, and that is to get permission from all of the Elders, which is a boon granted by each one.
Well, I guess his idea is just wipe them out would be faster, rather than asking for permission.
Well, let's just say that maybe this Monster King may or may not be known as an evil non-redeemable creature, so he may not have the option to ask.
Exactly. Okay, so we kind of have a motive. I say we head west and see if we can talk to this monk friend of yours.
Yes, and so you all head off. Once again, like Cass Athea said, as she said, this island really isn't a place for monsters. No monsters really exist on this island other than a few, but even those are docile and don't appear to attack.
Right.
As far as you're concerned, this island is very much calm and collected, unlike your island and the previous one. Other than the clearly creature that's messing with the healing lagoon, which doesn't even appear to be a monstrosity, more of an aberration, it appears.
Right. And didn't we say that those things that the chirping things, weren't they from another plane of existence also?
Yes.
They were aberrations as well.
Mm-hmm.
But from a different plane.
Yes.
What plane would that be? Where do those come from?
Maybe a history check.
I use smart 8.
9.
Anyone else? I guess Arlib will make one.
Go for it, Laxador.
You got a 5.
Yodelay.
Nat
Look at you.
20.
Nat 20
You
for
guys always
21.
underestimate me.
Yodelay is just over there
handsome.
just thinking.
In the helmet, it just has a little teleprompter that rolls down as he just starts talking about these aberrations and where they came from.
And you
That's
just,
the power of the helmet.
and it just clicks for Yodelay. And Yodelay, you actually know a bit more than you should know, but that's besides the point. You know that these creatures are mostly from the Astral Sea, but
Okay.
they had traces of being from the Feywild recently.
Okay. Okay, so does that tell us something from our previous conversation about where this could be coming from? Because we said that the closest planes were the Shadowfell,
Feywild,
the Feywild.
and the Ethereal Plane.
Yeah, so
which
Astral
means
Sea is really far away, so we're probably talking about the
the
Feywild.
Feywild. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's where I was expecting.
That's what I was thinking
Anyways.
too.
Yeah.
But because of dreams that have been had,
Yes. Well,
yeah, I'm kind of worried about that.
of course, our spiritual, much of our spiritual guidance comes from the Feywild. So if that's being corrupted right now, that is not good. There's a Feywild plane we are connected with, which basically makes a mirror of the islands, if that makes sense. But a lot
Yeah.
more of a, how do you say this, wild version of the islands. So if we can get together, if me and the monk can get together, then we can make a portal to the Feywild so you all can get in. If that makes any sense, combining our efforts. Normally we would call upon the paladin of Ilias, who is one of the 3 Fey, but he is currently in the city in the desert.
Do not want to get swallowed by a frog.
Let's say there are 3 of us that each represent the 3 Fey. I am one of them.
Huh.
That's how they send you to the Feywild, you know. You have to get eaten by a frog.
Do you know? Is that true? Is that like a child story that was made up in Rivermouth? They send you to the Feywild by you getting eaten by a frog?
Where they take your name and your mouth. That's what my mom always said.
And Arlub's like, oh, so that's where all the flies I ate went. So you all make your way and arrive at this kind of humble monastery. You see plants over at the side, and appears to be just quiet. You see a few windows and a door, on the monastery.
Arlen, do you feel like you're home?
I do. Although this is much more lovely than my home.
It is much quainter and clearly not made for as many people.
A singing monastery, not a punching monastery.
That's right.
Arlen, I think that you would be the best person to have this conversation beyond our gym here, because you speak monkey business, and
Right.
that would be we need to discuss that.
Hey,
Monkey
first.
business.
You speak monkey business, but no poo throwing. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So what would you like to do?
Well, let's go up and rap on the door.
Do we
Okay,
see any religious artifacts around the monk monastery?
Yeah, so you see a few hanging symbols. You actually see 4 of them. One of them, 3 of them,
The 3 Fae and the goddess of the night?
yep. And
In,
as you knock
are
on the
any
door,
more prominent? Sorry. Like, does it look like one's more worshipped here than the others?
you see, you probably actually recognize this as the symbol of Leotai. Jim will explain that the three Fae are each Leotai, who's the goddess of nature, which Tua, who's the monk, represents, Ilias, who's the god of the sun, or the Fae of the sun. We call them gods here because basically that's their power. And then I represent Kai, the god of the sea, or the Fae of the sea.
Is there anybody who represents the mother of the night?
What was that, Laxdor?
I said, is there anybody here that represents the mother of the night?
No. The mother of the night is not our god to worship usually. Very much just a figure of understanding, if that makes sense, around our parts. Not really much worshipped, but definitely understood.
So if Tua is it's with Leotai, and you're with Kai, who's with Ilias? Like, do you have a person around here who is the person?
The representative of Ilias is in the big city in the desert.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Funny thing about him, his name's William, which is quite a weird name because he's not Tortle or lizard folk.
That is a weird name.
He is some sort of creature with purple skin and horns. He's humanoid, but let's just say he's strange. Very much, if you've ever met a devil, then he sort of looks like that.
Okay. Look forward to talking to William in the future, but let's go talk to Tua.
Yes. So you knock on the door, Arlen, and you see this small Tortle in robes, and he appears to say, "Hello there. What can I do for you all?"
Hello, brother. My name is Arlen, and we have Alaxador, Yodele, and Yuri, and our little guy whose name for some reason escapes me.
Arlube.
And Arlube, and we've traveled here from the Healing Lagoon, which is having some troubles, and was wondering what you might know about that.
Yes, come in. And I'm assuming you all enter?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you walk by Alaxdor, before you fully enter the building, he stops you for a moment and says, "What do you have on your poor person? I sense disturbing magic."
Carry secrets from the Night Mother.
Maybe a persuasion check.
This is gonna go bad. Yep, it went bad. It's a 2.
Alright, I'll tell you what. You show me what the object is, and I'll let you in.
You might as well come clean.
There is no judgment unless you use the item.
No, we don't use the item, but we have come across, in our endeavors, items that have been sought by those of ill intent. And so we thought it best not to leave them where we found them, because they had already been discovered. As 2 of the 6 tablets are on our possession. I don't say the name, I just say that. And see if he recognizes what we're talking about.
Ah, okay. I guess it's better that it's on your person and not in the wrong hands. I know someone a few years ago who was seeking those.
About 50 years ago, maybe?
Yes, an orc
From
gentleman.
our island? An orc, okay.
He, well, come on in, and I'll explain.
Yeah.
And he said his name was Dalvir, and he tried to come to me about understanding, well, my teachings, which is the way of mercy. But eventually he tried to use his ways to cause violence, and I would not stand for it.
Yeah, us neither. I think we killed him for it.
Well, he is still alive, actually. But
Yeah.
but he explains that he was just a grieving man. He only wished for revenge.
You know what they say? Revenge in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Right.
But
It's a
welcome
common
in.
saying in Rivermouth.
But your secret is safe with me, Alaxtor, or not Alaxtor, Dragonborn, because I don't know your name yet.
No, I introduced
He
everybody.
introduced him. He did
I
introduce
introduced
everybody.
everybody.
Your secret is safe with me. If you need any help or any questions, just ask me.
We have many a multitude of questions, but
And I have an
Those
extensive
that-
library of things that have been kept. So if you are interested in that, let's say I've been alive
very much
for
am.
I've been alive for about close to 700 years by now.
Incredible. The things you must know. We definitely set out as a certain set of individuals to protect our island and learn things. But as we sailed away, we discovered things were not as what they appeared.
Yes, come on in. And so what do you tell? I'm assuming you tell him the same things you told Jim.
I think
I
we're a
think-
little bit more since it has now been discovered about the tablets.
Yeah.
I think we're a little bit more forthcoming with everything.
Might as well be.
He explains that he does not know where Chaska is at all. Only though that Chaska would probably be on the Feywild, if anywhere, somewhere on these islands. And as you speak about what's been happening in the Healing Lagoon, he explains that we could certainly tap into the Feywild to get there. Both me and Jim. Normally it'd be a bit easier with William around, but we can do it with two.
We'll be ready for a fight with that octopus-looking thing under the pyramid.
Yes.
Okay.
So whenever you all are ready to leave, let me know.
Let's do it. I think we're ready, aren't we?
I don't think there's any preparations to do. Let's
We're ready to go.
go.
So you see Jim and Tua perform sort of this ceremony with this circle. And as you do that, they prepare it and do this sort of dance around the symbols. And as they do that, the symbols glow green and prepare, and the symbols all appear to glow green, and they say, "All right, step through, and you will be there." You have about 10 hours until it closes.
If we don't make it back, what happens?
Actually, sorry, you have 24 hours. If you don't make it back, then we will try to get you back to this plane, but we cannot confirm anything. Especially since the Feywild is fairly dangerous and fairly, well, let's just say whimsical.
Yodele, we're gonna need your whimsy.
First of all, do not drink or eat anything you are offered. And if they ask you if they can have your name, you say, no, I will tell you my name.
All right. So you guys stepping through?
These are the rules of the Fae.
You step through.
All right, through. So you arrive in this sort of, you arrive on the other side, and it appears to be the hut, but these tree vines appear to be overgrown inside the hut, around every corner. And as you all arrive, you see out the window an armored figure and two other creatures. As they say, come out! And that's where we're gonna end it.
Oh, cliffhanger!